and welcome to the third entry in my Super Smash Bros. DS series. Today, I am happy to present the one and only Puyo Boy. Kirby's design is pretty simple, but nonetheless, I decided to make his overall proportions a little smaller this time around, in order to align with the style that I have going on for the whole game. His colors would be a little more orangey as well. This was just a result of a personal choice, because I tend to have a leniency towards warmer hues. But if I see that it becomes an issue later on, I'll be more than open to changing it back to align with his more classical look. So far, he's been the easiest character to model, due to the fact that he's just, a ball. I did have to create 3 different meshes for when he's flying and using his swallow ability, but the area of difficulty really came down to the texturing portion. As Kirby is usually just made up of a few basic colors, without any proper lighting, his model would just look flat. So my solution was just to give him a small specular light that reflects upon his face, with a faint shadow emitting in the back for the illusion of depth. I'm thinking of reusing this method for other characters with basic colors, like Pikachu and Sonic, who I plan to cover in the following weeks. Let's talk about technicalities. If you all remember from my Mario video, I mentioned that the poly limit that I set for myself is 600 tries. This model of Kirby sits at a little under 400 tries. While I usually look to use and make every try count, I saved an extra 100 tries for the items that he uses in his moveset, being his hammer and his final cutter. And I saved another 100 tries for the hats that he wears for his copy abilities, which I plan to showcase once I have more characters done. So let's talk about attributes. Like in the other games, Kirby would fall as one of the smallest characters, making him a little hard to land hits on. His smaller proportions this time around would only intensify that problem. To compensate for this issue, his defense stat would be drawn back, and knockback ratio would be higher as well. He'd also be a lot lighter than usual, making him even more floaty than before. Nevertheless, to the general Smash player, the difference would feel minimal. His taunt would stay the same as it was during the last 2 games. It's just too iconic and too adorably annoying to change. Speaking of which, for anyone who's curious about which button would need to be pressed to exhibit the taunt action, I decided to have it be the select button for now, as that button doesn't really get used for anything else in most DS games. And that is all I have to say about Kirby today. As usual, thank you all so much for tuning in and taking the time to watch and comment on these videos. I'm very happy to see that this project gained so much traction in so little time. I'll have some answers to some general questions in the description, but if there's anything else, feel free to drop it down below. With that said, farewell everyone, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace!